Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Foreign Office rejects Indian concern over Karak temple vandalism. Delhi advised to put its own house in order before lecturing on minority rights. By Bakar Sajjad Sayyed. Islamabad, the Foreign Office, on Saturday rejected Indian concern over Karak temple vandalism, telling New Delhi to end its own state sponsorship of discrimination against minorities before lecturing others. As a perennial purveyor of state-sponsored discrimination against its minorities, India is in no position to pontificate on the issue of minority rights elsewhere. The Foreign Office said in its rejection, in its rejoinder to a statement by the Indian Ministry of External Affairs on the Karak incident. The Indian Ministry, in a remark given to the Pakistan High Commission in Delhi, had urged the Pakistan government to ensure safety and security of its minority communities, including protection of their religious rights and cultural heritage. A mob had on Wednesday vandalized a temple in Karak, district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, on being instigated by a local cleric affiliated with the Jamiyat Ulama Islam Fazal. The cleric was angry over renovation of work at the temple and resumption of visits by pilgrims after it was handed back into the Hindu community a few years ago by the Supreme Court. The temple was damaged and set on fire by the mob. The Foreign Office, FO, in its reaction, dismissed Indian concern as completely unwarranted. This is not the first time the Indian government has tried to feign concern for minority rights elsewhere while being the most and egregious and persistent violator of minority rights itself, it said. The Foreign Office, FO, recalled India's own abysmal record on treatment of its minorities. From a Discriminatory Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA, to a National Register of Citizens, NRC. From the Gujarat's massacre of 2002 and to the Delhi program of 2020, from the reprehensible demolition of Babri Mosque in 1992 to the despicable acquittal of all the accused by Indian court in 2020 from blaming Muslims from spreading coronavirus to banning of interfaith marriages, from vigilantism and mob lynchings until terming the Muslims of West Bengal termites and threatening to throw them into the Bay of Bengal, from extrajudicial killings of innocent Kashmiris to blatant attempts to turn Muslim into a minority in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, IIOJK. And through distribution of fake domicile certificate, the RSS BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, regime's record is replete with instances of gross and systemic violations of the rights of minorities, in particular Muslims. It said, listing some of well-known incidents of discrimination and violence suffered by Indian minorities. The Foreign Office FO also reminded India about the actions taken by the government against the Khark vandals. The clear difference between India and Pakistan in respect to in respect of minority rights can be gauged from the fact that the accused in the Khark incident were immediately arrested, orders were issued for repair of the temple, and the highest level of judiciary took immediate notice, and the senior political leadership condemned the incident, it said. Whereas in India, the blatant acts of discrimination against Muslims and other minorities take place with the state complicity, and the Indian leadership is yet to condemn the perpetrators of the Delhi massacre in February 2020, let alone bring those criminals to justice, it added. Given these incontrovertible Given these incontrovertible facts, the Foreign Office FO said the Indian government would be well advised to put its own house in order rather than creating concern for minority rights elsewhere. And in the end, the formal request, if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the bell button to get the latest remarks. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.